Welcome to another podcast. Me, absolutely little lavender. Here we go. And today we are going to be doing more beast tribes, and I think that's like the chocobo birding. And they've gone. Oops, they've gone. I scared them off. But I now have all jobs at max level, and I got a new mount for it, if I can find it. Get a new mount. You may have to just take my word for it. I lose track of all these things. There it is. This one has 4 different emotes. So you have the carefree twirl, you have the virtual tears, you have the simulated rage, and you have the disorientating static. They make my character have weird expressions. I'm not sure this is safe for work. Anyway, I thought I would just show off the new mount for those who haven't seen it. So, these are the only things I've got left to level up, because all of those are max. And now with the reputation, I believe this should advance to the next stage. Yeah, I believe we've had this one before. It's heartening to see progress surviving bustling, but the increased traffic has caused some unwanted visitors. We're facing the invitation of UAPs. If we're to protect our customers from those roving sea kings, we'll need to recently thin their numbers. I'd appreciate the assistance of a special advisor in this matter. Sighting the moves frozen the sides is done. Please survey the area and deal with any UAPs that emerge. Community outreach in Cosenally. Ubali wishes to hear how the Hanu truly feel about the new tourism venture. It is heartening to see our staff talking to their work with such aplomb. Nonetheless, I'm concerned as to whether the locals are coping with the change. After all, the Turali Travel Agency is the nation's first homegrown tourist enterprise. I'm sure there are those who have their misgivings no matter how open-minded they appear. I don't suppose you were willing to inquire on my behalf. There's a Hana priest in Cosenally I'd like you to speak with. I wish to hear his opinion about our enterprise. Preventative measures. You believe we'd have you assist with some alpaca husbandry? Would you be willing to spend some time with the alpacas? The fuzzy creatures need extra special care in the heat and humidity. I was hoping you'd oblige. To maintain the herd in peak condition, the peddlers periodically treat them with insect repellent. The recipe itself is courtesy of the Hanu. I'll give you enough vials of repellent to get the job done. Drop by the enclosure and sprinkle a few drops on each alpaca's back. That's all there is to it. Right, I need to make sure this is actually recorded. Is it live on my channel? Yes, it is. There's the alpacas. A brush a day keeps the veterinarian away. A purgative liquid concocted by herbalists, useful for keeping alpacas and their fuzzy coats free from infestation. The alpaca murmurs contentedly, with its lustrous coat gleaming. The creature looks ready to charge round in delight. Purgative liquid can... Oh, it's exactly the same stuff. You must have surprised the alpaca while it was drinking. Fortunately, it appears unoffended by the intrusion. Easy, girl, easy. They're just trying to keep you healthy. What's happened to you, poor fella? You hear the creature breathing softly. It seems completely at ease. Hello there, how can I be of assistance? You seek my thoughts on the matter of tourism. When Liplu initially outlined your plans, this took me as a wonderful experiment, so to speak. But as with all experiments, the excitement comes with a degree of anxiety. What kind of visitors can we expect? How will the community weather the change? Such are our concerns. I want to do all I can to ensure visitors enjoy their time with us. If that contributes to the success of Lipu and her associates, all the better. Thank you for dealing with the Seed King. For the time being, their customers need not fear their traditions. In fact, we've just taken delivery of an extra shot known to ward off Uats and their ilk. I plan to spread the repellent in the area as an additional precaution. That said, such measures are by no means permanent. When the creatures return, I hope I can count on your help again. Welcome back. What did you glean from the priest? Ah, so he has concerns about the type of travellers who might visit the region. In that case, we ought to let the Hammer know We thoroughly screen customers as part of our booking process. That should help dispel any misgivings. Either way, we must make sure the Hanu can reflect back and be thankful they supported us from the outset. I hope you continue to do your part too. This one should push me to the next one. Thank you for handling that. How are the alpacas faring? I see. It always surprises me how creatures in the same herd can behave so differently. We'll have to make sure we can cater to their individual temperaments. The Hanu use the same repellent on the younglings. It's about as pungent as you'd expect for something that wards off the region's pests, but it's perfectly harmless. The Dawntrail Travel Agency relies as much on the alpacas as any other member of staff. They're just as deserving of the finest care. When it comes to chasing dreams, my sister is like a wild alpaca, charging off mountainside. Unstoppable, that is. I imagine her initial pitch was rather forthright. As Libus Valancourt, founder of the agency, I sincerely thank you for agreeing to join us. Nothing yet. Probably need to do the quest before it upgrades them. Attended first tour. You spy a determined glint in Liplu's eyes. The difficulty of this quest will be synced to your current level. Elita, so good to see you again. Thanks to you, the Dawntrail Travel Agency is almost ready to open for business. Though truth be told, we've already taken our first booking, and so soon after we started promoting our services in Tuliolal. A momentous occasion indeed. Our first customer is a Hetzaharu named Siya. Apparently he works for the Wing of Reflection in the capital. He's travelling by alpaca and should arrive any moment now. I'd like you to join me in giving him a warm Kozamuka welcome. I've got a few loose ends to tie up here, but I'll join you by the entrance when I'm done. Let's wait by the entrance. Siya ought to be here any moment. I'll be along as soon as I finish up here. Actually, I didn't check the other tabs. Siya, I presume? Welcome, how was your journey? Well met, Lipu. Thanks to my fuzzy friend here, I had a delightful trip. It speaks volumes that you've partnered with the porters to ensure your customers are well cared for. What a spectacular place this is. The journey alone has raised my expectations. Such breathtaking views. I've always longed to explore Dawntrail, but I lacked the courage to take that first step. So when I heard of your venture, Liplu, I couldn't believe my luck. I look forward to seeing what you've got in store for me. You won't soon forget your time here. That's a Dawntrail Travel Agency guarantee. Now, without further ado, let's get you registered. If you head to the reception, I'll be with you shortly. I have a small favour to ask. Siya has requested a guided tour, and I'd hate for something to happen to our very first guest. Having you keep an eye on things would take the weight off my mind. May I impose upon you to accompany Siya as his guide as they explore the local area? Excellent. Well, I'd better go and deal with the paperwork. Come and find me when you're ready. Apparently, tours are specifically tailored to customers' requests. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. Just confirmed, you booked the Hanu Hanu culture experience, correct? That's right. If I could squeeze in a spot of fishing too, that would be wonderful. I'm a keen angler in my spare time, you see. Absolutely. In that case, we can stop by Breath Between on our route. But first, I'll give you a thorough tour of our village. Now, customer safety is paramount for the Turali Travel Agency, which is why our special advisor Elita will be joining you. You were part of the Dawn Servants entourage during the Rite of Succession, weren't you? Everyone at the Winning River Collection knows of your exploits well. How reassuring that you'll be watching over us. Likewise, it's heartening to have you with us. On that note, shall we make our way to Okahanu? Safe travels. I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm sure there's no cause for concern, but I'm trusting you to keep our very first customer safe. As I walk in the dark and see. Interesting. And so you see, during the Rite of Succession, Dawn Servant Buklamat helped us restore the lifting of wings, Ihihana, to its former glory. This is the float that was repaired for the festival. Ah, I'd heard tales, but to see the real thing is something else entirely. I'm starting to get a sense of how important reeds are to the Hanu Hanu, not to mention how many different things you use them for. Cooking, construction, the list goes on. Fascinating. Nothing could make me happier than seeing other Turali take an interest in agriculture. That alone makes this job worthwhile. Now that you visit Okahanu, let's head for Breath Between and see if those fish are biting today. Oh, and in case you were wondering, we even use reeds as bait. See as tours progressing smoothly, and the pair have set up for a spot of fishing at Breath Between. Continue to keep an eye on them and ensure that neither come to any harm. I'm glad to see you're enjoying yourself. It doesn't get much better than this. It isn't every day you get to cast your eye on such beautiful surroundings. I'll be coming back for my own gear, that's for sure. We Hanu love to feel the wind in our feathers as we fish. It is as though we are cradled by Kiki has divine protection from head to tail. Say, I don't suppose you know of any fishing spots off the beaten trail. There are a few anglers here besides us, and I haven't had a single bite yet. Perhaps Cape Kikitola would fit the bill. It's a modest walk away, but the fish are plentiful, and one may cast their line in peace and quiet. That sounds perfect. If it's not too much trouble, I'd love to make the trip. My only concern is the fiends. But I ought to do all I can to accommodate Sia's wishes. Of course, let's make our way there. Onward to Cape Kikitola. Sia seems to be enjoying the tour so far, but danger may be afoot. Follow the pair to Cape Kikitola and keep watching as they continue fishing. Take all the time you need. I'm quite happy to stand here enjoying the scenery. Aha, a remarkable spot indeed. Makes all those hours chained to my writing desk worthwhile. Can we stay here a while longer? The sound of falling water echoes throughout the cavern as you scan your surroundings and listen intently for signs of trouble. Fortunately, no beasts reveal themselves to you. The sound of flowing water echoes throughout the cavern as you scan your surroundings. Listen intently for signs of trouble. Fortunately, no beasts reveal themselves to you. There's one, here's the monster! Here's the monster! Oh, I guess they appear over there. In the darkness, something hungers, a foul presence draws near with murderous designs. Remarkable spot indeed. Makes all those hours change my writing desk worthwhile. Can I stay here a lot longer? Take all the time you need. I'm quite happy standing here enjoying the scenery. What an excellent catch. Thanks for bringing me here. Oh no, the pleasure is all mine. If it pleases you, we can have the cook serve your fish at your next meal, and leftovers may be dried and prepared as a treat for the journey home. My, that sounds absolutely lovely. And with that, let us return to Draconia. Thank you again for standing watch on our tour. my chocobo! Come back! Such marvelous fun. I have high hopes for the Enterprise, although... Phew, thanks to you, I made it through my first tour without incident. Ah, welcome back. Sia and Zahali just returned. What a wonderful experience. Not only did I learn about the area and its people, but the tour was tailored to my every whim, and this will be the talk of Tuliolal. That said, I couldn't help but notice one glaring flaw. You're aware of what I speak, aren't you, Elita? Did something happen during the tour? I may have had to dispatch a few ravenous fiends. You did indeed, yes, albeit so swiftly that I never felt though I was in danger. You dealt with those fiends by yourself? Are you all right? There are few people who could have handled the creature so effortlessly, and that's where the problem lies. One day you will take your leave of the Turali travel agency, and they'll be hard-pressed to find someone of comparable skill. How then is the agency going to ensure the safety of future guests, I wonder? I see what you're saying. Having Elita here with us is truly a blessing, but not a blessing we can rely upon forever. Exactly. Customer safety should be a core pillar of your business. You'll need stronger measures in place to account for any dangers that may arise. I should mention that the Wing of Reflection considers tourism to be a vital part of our nation's future, all the more as we forge ties with foreign powers and promote the exchange of cultures moving forward. Complications notwithstanding, I'm glad I could personally experience the joys of sightseeing. Please don't hesitate to consult with us, so we may iron out any other issues, and nurture this industry together with months and years to come. We should be glad to do so, and may I say that devising a security plan that doesn't require our resident adventurer will be a top priority. I feel ashamed. It never crossed my mind that entrusting our safety to Elita alone might be a problem. I'd like to do my part to protect our guests during their stay. I think I speak for all my fellow guides when I say that. Perhaps our special advisor would be willing to train us. A wonderful idea. Your skill with wind magic is a boon for sure, but your local knowledge and experience with dealing with the region's fiends makes you all look more qualified for this duty. Still, to be safe, I propose we assign 2 guides per tour group. That way alleviate the burden and better guarantee group safety. Though we'll need proper faculties, a place to train, and space to house supporting staff, it could amount to quite the expenditure. My inner abacus is clacking away. It's telling me this prime investment opportunity made possible because we identified the problem early. Of course, we're still counting on your help, Elita. There's plenty to be done besides guide training and warding off fiends. We may have welcomed our first customer, but the real test is yet to come. new guide training facility has been established at the Dawntrail Travel Agency's base of operations, where candidates may look to your example as they hone their skills. The new policy of assigning 2 guides to each group will ensure none come to harm in your absence. Continue assisting Wupu and her associates, and ensure visitors leave refreshed, reinvigorated, and ready to spread the word about Kozmakauka's all-new tourist enterprise. You have achieved trusted reputation with Dawntrail Travel Agency. New Pelu Society deal quests are now available from your play at Draconia. Furthermore, you'll be able to take more. Yep, there we go. Wait a section. There we go. What do we have access to? Ooh. Travel Agency Orchestra, and I want to are any of these available for straight up purchase? No. Perfect souvenir, if it does so itself. The series of this automaton was crafted by a Potsworan goldsmith to serve as a promotional souvenir for the Pelu run Dawntrail Travel Agency. While the use of Kozmakauka's lumber lends it to a homespun appearance, it moves in a highly lifelike manner thanks to the advanced mechanisms using. The Pelu value the act of spend choice through trade. Canvassing the Kozmakauka. Upley wishes to conduct a customer survey. Customer feedback is essential for a business seeking to improve its services. If you have time to spare, I ask that you assist me in conducting a survey among our guests. I wish to know which aspects of the region and culture they're interested in, and how they feel about their experience so far. Please seek out 3 guests in Okahanu. By sending along you, our special advisor, my hope is they'll provide frank, unfettered feedback. Read between the lines. You will need you to attend some reads. On one of our recent tours around the Fields of Gold, several guests asked whether they could help with work in the paddies. This got me thinking, perhaps we could offer experience as part of a bespoke new tour. I thought if a special advisor be among the first to take part. I'd love to hear your honest thoughts. Speak with the paddy tour in the Fields of Gold. They'll provide you with more details. The rudiments of fiend removal. Upley would have you showcase your combat skills. As you well know, the Dawntrail Travel Agency has put in place measures to deal with the ever-present threat of fiends. Chief among them is training their guides in the art of visitor protection. As it so happens, one of our guides in training is eager to study your martial prowess firsthand. The young Hanu is waiting by the stride of the sun. I ask that you go and speak with him. Thanks to you, Elita, the Dawntrail Travel Agency is ready and to open its doors to the public. In other words, we're about to get busy. I hope we can continue to rely on your assistance. action. I think having Sia as our first customer is a stroke of good fortune. Hopefully our luck continues now that we're officially open for business. You must be the travel agency special advisor. Thank you so much for coming. I can't wait to see your skills in action. It's a privilege to learn from the fearless warrior who helped slay Baldigamada. I'll be sure to take plenty of notes. I left a hunk of meat in the underbrush to try and lure out some fiends. If you could deal with any creatures that appear, I shall watch at a safe distance and study your technique. I left a hunk of meat in the underbrush to lure out some fiends. If you could deal with the creatures that appear, I will watch at a safe distance and study your technique. It was all over so quickly, I couldn't take note of everything, but the way you anticipate the enemy's movements and positioned yourself during the fight was very instructive. I hope to take what I've learned here and apply it to my trading. The safety of my future customers depends on it. The way I moved, you mean the way I stood there and just went all out on it? I'm an assistant grower at Seafoam Fields in Tuliolo. I thought I'd come and see Hana horticulture firsthand. Some of their methods might prove useful on their plots back home. If it isn't the special advisor, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you take it part. Let's make a start, shall we? Weeds thrive in these paddies, but they still require regular tending. One thing we look out for when the weeds sprout too close to one another is they tend to grow slender and stunted. To ensure a healthy crop, we routinely thin the weeds until they're ready to harvest. The slender weeds we pluck out during the process are used by artisans to make all manner of goods, which is why we'll be offering guests on this farming taster a discount on reed handicrafts. Now that's a clever ploy. I'm just happy to get a hands-on experience, but once I've finished in the fields, I might have to browse a few of the stalls back in the village. You'll soon spot the overcrowded clusters that need tending to. All you need to do is pull out the stunted plants. As I said, it's easy to spot the overcrowded clusters. If you'd be so kind as to pull out the excess plants, that would be very much appreciated. Wonderful. I couldn't have done a better job myself. Feel free to leave the weeds you uprooted on the ground. My associates and I will come gather them up later. Phew, I'm starting to feel it in my back. That's all part of the fun. I think I'll keep going for a while longer. A little back pain won't stop me, not while there's work to be done. Thanks for your help. Usually we spread our rich blend of natural fertilizer after thinning out the weeds, but you can leave that step to us. My guest certainly knows a thing or two about architecture. As a matter of fact, I'm learning a great deal from him. A guest survey about the appeal of Hanu Hanu culture, I am an architect by trade, so often I'm viewing the world from a professional standpoint. I must say I'm awed by the expressiveness of reeds as a building material, from the houses to the festival floats and effigies. The designs have such wonderful personality, and when those yellow stems catch the spray from the river, they glint like gemstones in the sunlight. It's such a beautiful sight. Wherever I go, examining local architecture is one of my favourite pastimes. You want to hear about my experience so far? I was about to get something to eat, but I'm happy to stop and chat for a moment. I've enjoyed learning about the Hanu Hanu and their relationship with reeds. I was surprised to find out the crop is also a staple part of the local diet. I tried some myself, so crisp and delicious. It's been tough deciding what to eat. Everything looks so mouth-watering. See, and our guests delight at what we consider commonplaces a real joy. My take on the local culture? Not sure of anything all that insightful to say. I'm just here out of curiosity. Still, I'm happy to share my thoughts. I have a newfound respect for the Hanu Hanu and their wind magics. They may be bulky, but watching them leap down from high and land without so much of a whisper was simply marvellous. One thing's for certain, there's far too much to see in a single trip. Canvassing in Kozumauka. Welcome back. How did the survey go? I gave a summary of visitor opinions from a survey conducted in Okinawa. Very insightful indeed. These responses will be crucial in formulating our ongoing plans as a business. You have my sincere thanks. There you are, Elita. It seems you enjoyed your time in the fields. Thinning beads may be a mundane task, but it's essential to ensure the health of the crop. As long as we receive positive feedback from those taking part, we'll look to offer the experience again during our next harvest season. Ultimately, I think the Hanu will appreciate having a regular stream of helpers in the reed fields. I hope you consider taking part again soon. When it comes to fending off fiends, I can't think of a better reference point than your considerable skills. I'm sure our young guide in training gains much from the experience. Guides bear a heavy burden of responsibilities. Not only must they keep guests safe, they have to ensure their tours are enjoyable and informative. Every ounce of training is vital. We Paolo may be ill-suited to combat, but seeing our guides persevere with their training is inspiring. I'll endeavour to keep contributing to the agency in my own way. As ever, your help is greatly appreciated. Hello there, Special Advisor. I believe I've talked to you already. Right, okay, I guess we continue with story progress. Souls laid bare, foul and fair, every secret. I'll launch the hover cargo when you're ready. Just say the word. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them? To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed. Even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zoro Jah so absolute? It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. A lift can be seen beyond the iron-locked gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. A security panel is nearby. Perhaps a verification key will open the way. I wonder what my group would make of the research into transferring souls. The researchers likely moved. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes? I am good, very good. getting hard to control strength. The bit offhand of Frida cannot help it, so strong. Hungry, always hungry, cannot control. Eat. I must eat. An eater must eat. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergency. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. You found the key. Great. I'll call the others. It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temples that held Valigarmada. All the machinery appears to be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue, even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure. Most likely, for a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Gululja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shell taught me how. So much data, I don't know what I should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishalja. It brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. That sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to the storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for both of us. It seems safe to say my brother returned to Yuata for the Tura Vida. He wanted his power no matter the cost. I'm glad we could find what we sought in that abandoned facility. Kibusa is really good at driving the hover cargo. I wonder if I can learn to drive it too. I admit that Tural Vidal gave me a fright at first, but I remember who felled the mighty Valagarmada. I'll not soon forget our visit to that facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. You head into the back room. You found information on Gululja's mother. You lot never cease to amaze. You probably like this book about that. The data will be in good hands with Shale. I've been thinking, it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found throughout Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. Having now spent some of our time in these harsh environments, I feel I have a better understanding of how much a steadying presence Sphene was to our people. Gululja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. It was Shale who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we probably need it, and we did. Welcome back. Gululja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alizia and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, their mood is us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. I suspect the Alexandrian Prince Alphanot and Alice of the Garleans. Little wonder they feel compelled to assist in any way they can. I met some members of Oblivion on my way back here. They themselves were returning after having paid their respects to Spain. Decrypting files isn't the hard part. It's when the number of digits in a password is unknown. That's that the long nights begin. I'll stay here with Shale. There's a lot I can learn just from watching her. I share a friend's concern. It's not surprising that the Alexandrians are having difficulty coping with their grief, but still. Guidance of Hetsu. Gio's concern is a bit plain upon his face. Alize isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system. But even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they have a chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who have grown old. That's why it's most have been younger folk have been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see the Zac Tural Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some travelling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a slight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Koana seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaloni Station then. I'll make sure to keep Koana informed. Let us know if there's good news concerning the railroad. We can't disseminate it through our network, and hopefully put our minds at ease. Say hello to Koana for me. You'll have plenty of time while I work on this, trust me. Raha and I will keep an eye on things here in your absence. I'll be astonished if they were able to restore the railroad service so quickly. The locomotive was nigh obliterated in its collision with the dome. I filled Koana in. He asked that we continue to support the Alexandrians as best we can. Operations are still suspended, but we're trying to remain optimistic. It's good to see you looking well yourselves. Vow of Resolve and Elita Draconia to boot. What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Turali. They can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Ah, scratch the on his way. Did our little Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Ah, stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You're here about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which... I assume Lamity has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty putting her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get to the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. Now we're back to our original problem, how to run a railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mesowotan. That is the Ronique, though the Hetzeroos that follow them are none too pleased about their Hesu being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised is to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronique will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronique's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronique's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mesowotan for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Hesaru have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it. The rest of you accompany us to the Hetzeharu encampment if you like. For now, we'll continue work on the silent locomotive as planned. Here's hoping whatever you come up with won't require a total overhaul. It's only recently that the Ronique changed their grazing patterns. They didn't stray too close to the tracks before. Away we go! As committed to hetero-art condition, they are amenable to the unfamiliar, or so I'm told. Our prior visit to the Hetzeharu was also on railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. To think all this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever the Ronique leads. That's quite an evolved reason, is it not? I can scarce believe it. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Mesowotan? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of Zaktaral Railroad. You too have noticed the Ronique's unexpected change in behavior, then? My son, Shepeto, has been looking into this matter. Shepeto? Normally we'd expect the Ronique to keep their favourite grounds nearby, and for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing. Piriayorin and Yawatani. Yet they refuse to keep where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hezaroo would, I suppose. As you may have summarized, I am of Hezaroo's descent. My parents travelled with Ronique as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration, one of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliyola markets, and that's where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamitita came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I have never heard the Ronique choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor any of the Hezaroo willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. Even if it might help you better understand the Ronique's current behavior. As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hezaroo may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervour for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn of one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor Dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronique, and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Hezaroo culture with me? I should like to approach this with fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Ronique, and we'll have a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. It will be a joy to share our traditions with the new Dawn servants, as we once did with Gulul Jaja. My knowledge of their culture I was born into is written from written accounts alone, and few of them at that. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labour. I am not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Now introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later to share what we've learned. Truth be told, we don't get many visitors keen to learn our way of life. Anyone around here will tell you whatever you want to know, and then some. It will be a joy to share our traditions with new town servants, as we once did with Guru Chacha. You're here to help. Well then, why not I show you how to care for a Onyx coat? Go ahead and run your fingers through it. Gently now. As you stroke the Onyx coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in the tangle like as not. A sturdy brush should go for grooming even the fullest of Onyx. Ah, Geppetto sent a Onyx brush with you, did he? How like him. Now just run it through the one little patch at a time, gently. You dutifully brush the Onyx until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with the coat. It appears much tidier now. The same can't be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done! With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat, and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. You should come back during shredding season. It's a sight to behold, but thanks to the head service produced coats, we never want for clothing and blankets. After admiring your work, you try and fail to brush the fur off yourself. The Onyx preens. You're learning about the Hellfire way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share. Rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived at them myself. Ahem. Our Hellfire provides us with something that we use in medicines, poultices and soap, to drive away pests and sustain our fires. What is it? Is it dung again? It sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered myriad uses for Onyx chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our head soup will always provide. I know silly folk are squeamish about dung, but you can't deny generations of results. I won't ask if you march across the plains and fill a sack with it, only that you keep an open mind about our customs. This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle and sinew. A box containing bone meal, sinew, scraps of hide, and other helpful mending equipment. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Onyx hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally don't need to worry. Onyx hide sturdiness makes an excellent material for clothing and shoes as well. Of the many gifts our Hetsu bestow, it's the most versatile. I don't know how we get along without it. I'm afraid I've finished with my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronique are our Hetsu, our guides, and that we travel through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all that we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits in two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hetsuharu must also part with half of our number. You think it's strange and stressful custom, but over the years, it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as a people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetsu. One more tidbit for you. When the herd splits and we part with our kin, we exchange a wish to meet again wheresoever we are guided. Sepia Ashis Asheratu Neonan. You smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us. And with the horns of a Ronique to boot. I have to wonder how Volcana is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wishes to understand us was sincere. Because I'm an aura and I have horns. Ah, there he is now. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Ronique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail it seemed inappropriate. But how is your own work? Have you anything to share? The heads of our life revolves around the Ronique, but in turn the people receive all they need. Yes, I feel the truth of this myself. While I was hesitant to leave fate to the whims of the Hetsu, rather than man-made paths, I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ronique, as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on the present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Tural, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today, and I will endeavour to remain curious, especially where the Hetsu are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Draconia. You're welcome among our herd any time. It seems Draconia has come to an understanding with the Hetsu after all. I expect Varvuk, Lamat and Erenbel will be back soon as well. The warmth of family, Koana appears loath to part from his wounded companion. Koana, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetsu. They nourish the Hetsuharu as they grow, provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronic are sensitive. The way we treat their inner injuries or brush their coats to keep them from hail. They must never ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hetsuharu would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Ronic's once favoured grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronic, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceroraptors, but they looked to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behaviour in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides and the like. Though the Hetsuharu would have surely put two and two together, were the cause geological. I measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. A large animal, perhaps? And a powerful one, like as not. A predator, given the local fauna's behaviour. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very, very large fangs. Could it be a Turahetsu? The Turahetsu? Ronic Reaver, in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hetsu in the night is another evocative one. Ronic can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turahetsu. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronic's consternation is clear. As is our next move, we must drive this reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear, we'll make certain that the beast that threatens you no more. Those Ronnie grievers have a hefty set of teeth, but I'm not worried, we fought worse. A powerful creature behaving unusually. Left to its devices, it may well become a Tura Vidal. We must attend to it ere that happens. We must protect the Hetsu, but not at the cost of your lives. Please take care out there. I am loath to risk inciting panic lest our fears be unfounded, but I will warn my people to take extra precautions. Let's go! The Ronic Weaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. If others are returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behaviour and where it might be found.
Hetsu is coming this way!
Well, so much for not inciting panic.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety!
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
We must pray the Hesahara are right. There's the ring. I think I see. Yes.
There they are!
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Call the hunters! Run!
There must be something up ahead. Come!
These are no match for the likes of us.
did the trick.
Yeah, there's something bigger, I'm assuming, because... Oh, there we go.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
Oh no!
There! That one there!
Not so fast!
Even should it cost me my life.
I will save the head soul!
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety!
There. You've nothing to fear.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I made a vow to our people.
You shall plague them no longer! You'll find the power of reason.
Keep it busy! I need time!
Right! Open your legs!
place piercing round to the chest, and... you're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Nothing's stopping us now!
That's better.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me!
We must disperse that ether ere the Reaver recovers it!
This is going to hurt.
We did it. The Etso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehua Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozaniheta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetzo!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. As the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am Dawn servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
If Draconia counts us among his families, and he is part of ours. You made felling that Turuhetsu look easy. On behalf of the Hetsu, I thank you. We certainly got more than we bargained for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum. I can't imagine how Koana must be feeling right now. That reaver, you don't suppose it was the same one that... To know that the heads are safe is more than enough. Yet would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenge my parents? It is the least I owe to them after all this time. Elita, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant, and as the oft imperfect man beneath the mantle. Now let us return our attention to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Ronic strain from their favoured grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure. A silent whistle, as it were. The whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it. Wawilka and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. It's just as far on both sides. This train will be ready in no time. I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacements outside the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. A variety of artisans from across Tyrell have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Corona proposed. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. So, the Ronic were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Valkoan is not too bad himself. What with his whistle idea, sit tight, we'll have this train on the tracks before you know it.
We're ready to go.
Whoa! She looks as good as new!
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through her paces.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Yay. The folks at Walkama buzzing to rebuild the railroad have already returned home, but I hope we can give them a ride someday. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people of Draconia Elita can take it from here. I expect that with the Reaver gone, the Ronek will gradually return to their old habits, and we won't see too many approaching the tracks. It's good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. Now anyone will be able to come and go from the dome as they please. I can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria. For a while there we were real worried we wouldn't get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shaloni, and then the continent. Watch out, Jacques Duval, here we come. I share the sentiment, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back at it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamitia. I won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take that train journey to Yusolani together. Final quest. Never one to stand still, Wuklomat is ready to race back to Alexandria. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, and what do you have her working on? Galulja's mother. I'd feel the same in his shoes. I've felt the same. Some questions are painful enough to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kafkia we met have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kafkia? What? No. It is merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time, see if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. Once this quest is complete, this should be the final quest because it's the same name as the expansion. You're heading to the back room? Yes. Seeing Erinville never fails to remind me of Kafkia, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The dead should be remembered, this I firmly believe. Gul'ja's mother deserves that too. You must be exhausted. Shall I nip up for an energy tonic? Yes, please. So, Zoralja was conducting secret research in Yuritara. I have some memories of the place from my childhood. Glad you're back. I wouldn't want to keep Gul'ja here waiting any longer than necessary. Erinville is wearing his Kafkia. That makes me so happy. Looks like we arrived at a good time. A simple yet elegant solution, and thus the railroad is back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She'll be able to share her findings with us immediately. I'm interrupting something, I gather? Why, Y'shtola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of this gate in Skydeep Synod for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. Well there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on Electro. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we've finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishulja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
My name is Teishalja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Turyolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If you could see him, embrace him. Surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Can you look at shouting for me? The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamarchi. Father and Mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
What a mess. If the dome had not appeared, Teshelja's tale would have been very different. Yet whether or not she would have been happier, I cannot say. You may find it hard to believe, but until the night of succession, Sirolja was a good brother to me, always, and I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think the time we spent together as family was a lie, but by the same token, the bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. It's okay, I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. I don't regret it. And I have Lamati, Koana, and you, Elita. I'm not lonely now. Teshelja left in the records as well. I'll compile them for Golja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. No matter how brave a face Golja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. He is a strong one though, you needn't worry too much. Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Teshelja simply wanted someone to know how she felt, to understand. It's better to know a profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Gololja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. 'Tis fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Gololja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I am ready to head to Living Memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. I'll stick around for a while. Let me know if you need me. One would know to look at them, but Shale and your Stola are birds of a feather. An incurably restless feather. Is Shale gonna be alright out there? The whole time she was working on the data, I never saw her take a break. With the railroad ready, I'd like to get some idea of how many returnees we can expect before heading back to Leola. The twins have yet to return. I hope everything's alright. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamouring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Leola were eager to reunite with families and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through the vanguard. If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Laynode 9. I'm surprised as you are. Everyone was keen to pack their bags before, but now that the journey's possible, they can't be bothered? Perhaps we will venture out a bit for ourselves. Now that the railroad's working again, it'll be much easier to visit Tuliala. It'd be nice to see Koana again as well. I've asked Rio to fill me in on all that's happened in the Dome of late. If I hear anything of interest, I'll be sure to pass it on. The people were so nervous about remaining in Alexandria. I can't help but wonder what prompted this sudden change of heart. There may be still people gathering at Freaks' Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
That can't be right.
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do!
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever. You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty?
Oh.
What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution. All of us shall be made endless. I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received Neo-Regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all. One day soon, those with Neo-Regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Ah, there we go, end of the quest. There's not to report yet, but we've all eyes and ears on Everkeeping heritage found. Sphene was erased. If she's back, then are they endless? Seriously, what was that? Queen Sphene has returned. How? Without the Meso-Terminal, how does she propose to create new Endless? We must contact Ustola as soon as possible. We've heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumour spread through the district like wildfire. You saw Sphene with your own eyes then, so it wasn't someone else? We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that a message about the new regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Meso-Terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandria to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, 'tis no surprise they would choose to believe she's alive. More like they're forced to believe. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honour. 'Tis as if their memories have been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators, but by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being Queen of Reason, in that guise. Even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Meanwhile, in living memory,
Where am I? My people? Are they safe? Why am I...
in fear of death the people turn, to Queen Reborn their fates to learn. A pity Ystula was not present for Sven's return. Cursory glance at our imposter's ether would have been doubtless enough to confirm our suspicions beyond a doubt. Shale said she left this morning to process more of the data from the field station. Is it done yet? Though we have too little information to draw any useful conclusion of it, I dare say the Queen of Reason's behaviour henceforth will be illuminating. Neo-regulators. I heard the idea from the citizens, but something doesn't sit right. We'll look into this. Right. That is the end of the current quest line. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Bye for now.